hate people, whatever. That's the square garden to me, baby. There's a lot of like cute lady comics tonight. I'm sort of considering, right? What is that? It kind of makes me want to be a lesbian a little bit. Or maybe I'm coming out for real. No, I'm just kidding. My mom's here. Heart attack. Let's start my set. So guys, it kind of astounds me what certain companies find to be effective advertising. I passed the Union Square movie theater, and there was a poster outside that read, "You said medium. We heard large." Yeah, I gotta tell you, all I got out of that is that this theater hires deaf and challenged people. Like, what if we turn the tables on them? Like, oh, you said that comes to $15? I heard free. If you could like apply that to your personal life, like, oh, you said you're not really looking to date right now? Because I heard June wedding. You know, I don't always, this is like a laugh track. Like, I know it's live. It's good, it's consistent, it just sounds really unnatural. I will take it. I don't always trust customer services on my side. I went out to get a drink the other night, and my card was declined. So I called my bank, and they said there were no technical errors, which leads me to believe that my credit card was being rejected for personal reasons. Like, Miss Klausner, we're glad you called. There's nothing wrong with your account. Your card's working just fine. We just know how you get when you drink. Like, and while we have you, we'd like to notify you that any future attempted purchases of Funyuns will be declined. Alright guys, I want to get real for a second. I want to open up. Is it weird that in my therapy session yesterday, before either one of us uttered a word, I broke down into massive hysterics? Is that weird?
Yes.
Is it weirder that it was my physical therapist? It was like, listen, my life can get tough out there, but we're really here to work on your wrist. And I was like, well, maybe someone should be more careful about the words they include in their professional title. Like the second you throw out the word therapist, you take it upon yourself to be my permanent emotional cushion. Right? It's like when I go to the grocery store and like check out, and the cashier's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, well, to be honest, not great. And they're like, get all freaked out because I'm like talking about like my dad issues and like my past relationship, and I'm like, listen, the second you asked me about my life, you took it upon yourself to enter into a verbal contract in which you become obligated to listen to all my problems until I'm good and done. So I think my therapist, like my actual one, caught on because he started our session the other day with, all right, Maya, we only have 59 minutes left, so we should probably start wrapping it up. That wasn't bad for having written it on my way to the stage. Cool. Let's do some stuff I've worked on. So I was on a really sweaty, crowded subway earlier, as opposed to those luxurious private subway cars that you get a Groupon for and ride first class in, I don't know. And this woman shoved her way through the throng of people with a bicycle, taking up the space of like 4 passengers. I'm like, I've seen this enough where there's a joke here, right? Bear with me, we'll get there. But I hope you guys agree eventually. And I think this is like, first of all, her only excuse is if she was riding her bike, and then together they fell through a subway grate directly into the train, right? Like, this has become enough of an issue where the MTA should invest in a solution. Maybe provide a bike bouncer at the entrance, like, oh, sir, wow. I love what you're doing for the environment, and I'd really like to help you out, but you are not welcome here. It's like, you made your choice when you left your house this morning with a bicycle, right? That's like me like deciding to walk somewhere, like, actually, kind of tired. Just latch onto a nearby jogger. Room for one more? So, oh yeah, so this is broken. I clearly did not write that. It's not even like a sentence, let alone a joke. I broke my wrist, guys. And I'm glad I'm sabotaging my set just as I was picking up the energy. And the doctor actually kind of screwed up. It went undiagnosed for an alarming period of time, like 10 days. And they kept calling me and being like, it hurts. Like, I'm not a doctor, but I know it hurts. And he kept sending me for x-rays and being like, you're fine. So then one day, I get a call, and he's like, hey, just checking up. And I was like, oh, so everything's fine, right? He's like, well, not exactly, it's cracked. And I was like, broken? He's like, I wouldn't say broken, but your bone is cracked in half. That's weird. And he's like, but he literally, but don't worry, it's common for young 20-something-year-old healthy girls to crack a certain bone in their arm, sometimes doing nothing. And I was like, I see where you're going with that, but what I think he meant to say is, it's common for 90-year-old women with osteoporosis to slip in the tub and break their hip. Or it's common to die after a bear eats you. I think that's what he meant. I saw a really weird, and keep going, whatever. Enjoy yourself. I saw a poster that said, "Run for obesity, find the cure." And I couldn't help thinking, isn't running the cure? Right? Like, arguably, if you know someone who's struggling with being overweight, are you really being the best friend you can be by offering to exercise on their behalf? Doesn't seem right. Our society is obsessed with weight loss, right? I saw this commercial for something called MediFast. And I don't know if anyone's seen this. Feel free to give me a woo if you have, or if you haven't. But it's a cool, great, 2 people. So I saw it's okay. So it's a commercial. We're getting there with it's an old fat version of the woman, and the current new thin version of the woman on a couch having we're not there yet, but love the enthusiasm though. Having a conversation with each other. Register that image. It's even more surreal because it's not just like, look, we did it, congrats to us. It's horribly emotional. Like the old fat version is sobbing hysterically, like in utter disbelief that her life is no longer this waking nightmare. And the new thin version is frankly kind of a bitch about it. She's like, yeah. We're thin now. When is this thing gonna wrap? Right? And when I see the commercial, I think, like, first of all, it's amazing that she lost 30 pounds. Good for her. But no one seems to be concerned that she's also developed a pretty severe bipolar disorder. I'm no doctor, but that doesn't seem like an excellent medical trade-off. You know, when using our system, we may experience dizziness, fatigue, and lurking presence of 4